Record. What's happening, guys? Hope everybody is well. Monday morning, all the fireworks as expected. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, FX CM charts were down, so you can just switch them over to Oanda. I've had to do that this morning, so you just swap them over to Oanda. Right, let me just let everybody in. And then we're good to go. Right. So, gold. Let's go through obviously what has happened here. All right. The dollar, like we'd said, smashed it through. So if we go on the 2 hour time frame here, there we go. Dollar obviously opened up here, closed down, and obviously now we've broken back through. So now 98 becomes support. Safe havens have flooded in to the dollar. So lots of money gone into it, like we spoke about last night. The dollar is the dominating currency. Everything's priced against it. Gold, silver, um, everything it trades in the US dollar, and obviously that's what makes it a safe haven. Um, so that's obviously what has been dominating heavily. Yields haven't been striking up that high. Also, as discussed yesterday, stocks are down over 1%, and it's early, so this could be like 2 to 3% overall. So everything is as we expected. Oil, like I mentioned, we need to be a bit concerned about this 80 area here. We don't want oil to increase in price too much, but it is interesting because Trump's just acquired a lot of oil from Venezuela, and obviously the price of oil's gone up. So obviously his money that or the oil he's acquired at a certain price, now that's worth 20% more, 30% more. So not a bad day if you're in the oil business. Right, so not really much to obviously go through. We're obviously gonna go through here today. Right, so. We've obviously had, good, obviously HPI data for pound, which is pretty much irrelevant because obviously, the dollar being a, safe haven has made everything, fly against it. So we've obviously got ISM manufacturing a bit later on. That's the only thing that I'm really interested in. Potentially might be interesting to hear Lagarde speak about the euro. Whether she mentions anything about this war or not, let's wait and see. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting day, no matter what. So let's wait and see. Hold on 1 second. Do you want to start getting ready? Yeah, good girl. Um, right. So. Let's have a look at what we have got here. So this is obviously how I have priced everything in this morning. So I'm just waiting for a few pullbacks. One thing about high impact, news, and I had a few messages on this last night, agreeing with me and my, we obviously have to be sympathetic here because, although it's great to be hyped, think about what's creating this hype. I mean, there was a school bombed. I think like 63 or 68 children died in Iran, so obviously don't be too, unsympathetic about obviously why all of this is happening. It isn't nice. War is horrible. And I just obviously wanted to clear that out the way. It doesn't matter who it's up against. No children should ever be punished for an adult's war. So yeah, but no. What I am aiming for today, all right, is the reason why I haven't jumped in straight away. We've obviously had this move during Asia, all right, and we obviously need to be patient. Do I think these moves are going to continue? Yes. But obviously, is it val? We've always got to look at, is it value for money to be buying or selling where we are. And I think if you think about this every single time, it's going to stop you from trading. Do I want to buy gold? Yes. But is it value for money for me to buy gold right now? Remember, gold's been higher, right? We are not at all-time highs yet. Gold has been higher, so is it value for money to be buying here? Now, I'll go over gold in a bit, but obviously everything else, I'm actually really, really, really happy. I mean, obviously, yes, I'd love to be in a few trades already this morning, but just because something has happened, I'm not going to change how I trade. All right, I'm going to trade exactly the same, and I think not changing. This is obviously this is what helps you to stay profitable, to stay in the business, because obviously that's all it is. Things like this are going to be happening all the time, unfortunately. So we don't want to feel, the FOMO of missing out. There's going to be lots of rubbish about people buying from the bottom or, selling from the top or holding gold across the weekend, blah, blah, blah. There's just as much risk of news coming out across the weekend saying that, what, Iran and America had made up, and obviously gold would have absolutely tanked. All right. And so do I condone holding gold, especially over a weekend? No, so we obviously need to be aware of this and obviously not be afraid that obviously we are, missing out. Obviously, I'm happy with everything. We'll obviously have a better idea this afternoon. We can go a little bit more aggressive because we'll have had Asia play out and London play out too. So we'll be going slightly more aggressive, but obviously, we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens here. Um, Let me just have a look. So I did call GBP JP1. Sorry, all of mine are on FX CM. Let's do Euro JPY. I'm just interested to see where they are. Euro JPY. There we go. Right, let's just have a look here. So Euro tanking as expected, and obviously pound tanking. So yeah, that's quite interesting. I'm going to get rid of those because I don't want them to distract me. So obviously Euro, like we said, everything is playing out as we expected. If you haven't watched last night's video, watch it because everything is playing out like we they discussed, like we went through. Right, one thing that I'm going to go over in a bit of detail is gold, right? Because gold is the only one I might be tempted to obviously potentially not break my rules, but obviously, I'm still going to be, structured, but obviously it's marking our areas, our zones of aggression here. All right. Now you can obviously hop onto a 5 minute time frame if you want to. If you are struggling with obviously staying out of a trade, there are three zones above our zone which I would consider a half decent to buy from, depending on how aggressive. I would under lot on gold because what you've got to think about as well is is there going to be price manipulation? Is there going to be guys who are going to want to be buying gold, but not at this price. All right, their value for money area. I don't think we're going to drop down into this area which we're at, right now. But obviously, I do think potentially this area for short little buys, might potentially be an okay kind of area. So if we were to go in something like this, potentially 420, 430, and then obviously it's not. It's this. This is one of the reasons why I don't like buying from here. I'd probably have to be about here. This is obviously one of the reasons why I don't like buying from here, um, because it's where you put your stops in. All right, but obviously I don't mind this place here. Obviously, the lower down you go, the better, So the lower down you go, the better. We can go probably down here then, and obviously that would be an okay, stop loss. Do I think this is going to get tapped? Probably 20% chance, 10% chance, but obviously, 70% chance this might get tapped here and we can capitalize it, and obviously grow from here. Same system as always. Three entries, top, middle, bottom. That would be something which I might potentially be, looking at this morning. So let's wait and see. But do not write off the fact that we could get a move like this happen before the huge move. All-time highs have got to be tested this week. I'll be gobsmacked if we don't have these all-time highs tested. We'll be absolutely gobsmacked. And obviously, even from here to here is a massive, massive trade. So yeah, that's obviously one thing that I might potentially be, looking at here. So feel free to mark these up if you wanted to. But obviously, yeah, I am going to stay a bit more patient. Remember, this war isn't going to happen and end today. It's going to be going on for a while, so we're going to have lots of opportunities. So times like this, it's about being even more patient than normal. So yeah, let's wait and see. Right. Does anyone have any questions? Does anyone have any questions at all? Beverly, morning from Dubai. I've got lots of friends there. Everyone seems happy. Everyone seems strong, comfortable. So yeah, no one seems scared. I know obviously they are on it. Everyone's had a message at certain times to stay in, but yeah, and I'm sure Qatar is obviously similar. So yeah. It's it's scary, but obviously, just goes to, show how under control everything is. But I think most sort of westernized countries are pretty under control. So yeah, does anyone have any questions? Any more for any more? Hit me up, guys. Anything you want to ask, I'm happy to answer. I'm obviously going to be doing the boot camp a bit later on. I'm going to do a bit of a beginner one to start off with. So we'll go back to basics a bit. We'll go through trading view properly. I'm then going to do t tomorrow. I'm going to do a proper kind of breakdown potentially of of um, what to look out for in what they would call, black swan events where it's not planned. It's a bit out of the ordinary, and it could happen with anything, and so the whole market is, gonna be slow because remember this week we're going to be trading on hype. All right. It's not what's happening economically, it is just hype, right? It's pure hype. I actually think probably gold is going to be the only one where, like I'd said, if you want to be a little bit aggressive, the 5 minute time frame, a good one. I don't normally trade it, but if you have the 50 EMA, as long as you're going with trend, buying off of that today, you won't be too far wrong. So buying off of any taps, if it breaks through and touches the 200 on a 5 minute time frame today, yeah, just could go all in because that'll be quite, slim. But you can see here, we've had obviously reactions off the 50 EMA here twice. So, it's not going to be a bad place. And actually, if this continues, our area here might be quite good. If that is, something. But I'll send this picture in, and obviously then you guys can decide if it's something that you obviously want to do. But obviously, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I might stay patient and just go a bit more aggressive this afternoon. But yeah, I'm gonna see what happens here. I can mark these up for everybody if they want to, and then I can post this in the group. So then you guys will know what what what's happening. Potentially something like this. Just mark them all up, and then you've got them there. All right. But obviously, yeah, if to save me going through the bootcamp chat, do you have bootcamp timers? Yep, it's going to be 8 p.m. All right, 8 p.m. I'm going to put the Zoom link into the channel, so do not worry at all. The Zoom link will be in the ch channel. I'm going to put it in a bit later on. So all of you are going to have access. Do not worry at all. What about shorting gold now? I think you'll be a brave man. I think you'd be a very, very brave man. You've got to ask yourself, as long as any trade, you can have reasoning as to why. All right. Reasoning as to why. All right. Why you're going to be taking a trade. Right now, my personal reasoning is only to buy. But I then want to work out where I'm going to be buying from, and I want market to come to, me. I get asked this all the time, from your, zones. Why don't you, sell into it? And I'm like, because I want to see market do what I want it to do. It's a bit like what I mentioned the other day. If you want to build a house, you got to draw plans beforehand. And obviously that is what obviously we need to be thinking more of, in regards to trading, because anyone, there's going to be loads of guys trying to, short it, but I think you're more likely to get, trapped or hurt. And obviously, I'd rather be trapped buying than trying to sell. All right, because this, we've all seen how gold reacts. It, reacts to the point of, sometimes it will just go up and up and up and up and up. And if you're trying to sell here, all right, you're just got no chance of a pullback. Currencies you normally have a chance, but obviously, yeah, gold, there are times where you will not have a chance. So yeah, but if that is everything, every question, I'm here obviously all day. Today I understand that obviously, there's going to be lots of hype on social media, but I've bought here, I'm in this trade, I'm in this trade. Don't believe it. Just, stay patient. And yeah, we don't change our trading. Now, there is a reason why we are profitable long term, and it's because we don't change our routine even for anything crazy that's happening. So, right, everyone be safe, and yeah, I will catch up with you guys in the group a bit later on. Have a good one.